Prairie Mosaic is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, the North Dakota Council on the Arts, and by the members of Prairie Public.
Welcome to Prairie Mosaic, a patchwork of stories about the arts, culture, and history in our region.
Hi, I'm Barb Gravel. Welcome to Prairie Mosaic.
And I'm Andy Garski. Visiting Fergus Falls this week, I had the opportunity of a lifetime to visit a small batch coffee roaster and witness the dedication and precision that brought Greg Stumbo's dream to life at Stumbeano's Coffee Roasterie. From sourcing high-quality coffee beans to dialing in the perfect roast profile, Greg brings years of hands-on experience to every batch of coffee he roasts.
Andy, I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous because I can certainly appreciate a full, rich-bodied cup of coffee. But I heard the story didn't end there. Stumbeano's coffee beans made their way into yet another story?
Yes, Barb. Chef Evan Burkdoll from the restaurant Toast in Fergus Falls joined us in the kitchen to create one of his favorite dishes, Espresso Rubbed Pork Tenderloin. He paired locally raised pork with an espresso rub using Stumbeano's coffee to show how coffee creates a rich, savory crust on a perfectly seared tenderloin. This dish is truly a celebration of Minnesota's local food scene. Enjoy!
The thing that's kept me intrigued by coffee and coffee roasting has been more the sensory experience. You can visibly see the coffee roasting change. You can smell it change from the time it's a green unroasted coffee to the time it's ready for brewing. There's an audible sense experience too because it'll crackle a little bit as it's roasting. There's a cadence to the roasting with the drum turning. My name is Greg Stumbo and I'm a coffee roaster. Stumbeano's is a wholesale coffee roaster with online sales. My wife Jenny and I started Stumbeano's back in 2005 and have been doing this, the two-person operation, since 2008 probably. Back in 2000, 2001, I saw a video documentary on PBS about a family that emigrated from Cuba that was a coffee roaster in Miami. And early internet, I logged on and found out a little bit more about the family and their history. And by luck of the way of a pop-up ad came up and said, did you know you could roast coffee at home? My first coffee roasting purchase was a little home coffee roaster called the Cafe Roasto. And maybe a cup of coffee at a time was what we could roast. Took that and explored a little bit further. And the coffee hobby developed over time. In August 2005 is when we officially got licensed and started roasting. Coffee plays such an important role in people's lives because a lot of times it's the first thing they do when they get up in the morning. The cup of joe or the caffeine wake me up. But I think it's a rabbit hole when you get into different coffees and tastes and origins. And it's very much in the same line as like a microbrewery or a wine or any type of artisan product. We're very much micro roasters, so we can pivot easily and always try to select the coffees that are closest to harvest. So we're always looking to select the freshest coffees from smaller growing farms and smaller plantations. And a lot of times that leads us to discovering and exploring more unique coffee profiles and tastes. We select our coffees from an importer in Minneapolis, and so we're able to learn right where the coffees are growing, who's growing them, from what plantation, and as far as how the importer-exporter handles the coffees. It'll taste different depending on where it's grown. You have coffees from Brazil that will taste different than coffees from Colombia, and the whole coffee belt that goes roughly around the equator is going to have different sensory experiences for everybody that enjoys the coffee too. There's a very strong artisan component to roasting coffee, especially when, as simple of an operation as ours is. We don't rely on any computerization or AI-driven model to kind of determine when the coffee's done. Ultimately, I'm going to look at it and decide, yep, that coffee's done, or nope, that coffee needs a little bit more. And then once the coffee's done, I'm just looking at those flavors that are inherent in the coffee. I'm just roasting to bring those flavors and aromas out. That's a lot of times what I'll do with the Ethiopians is I'll draw the roast out a little bit to ensure that each bean is kind of roasted evenly. Because if you roast it too fast at too high of a temperature, some of these beans end up getting scorched or burnt. The process of roasting coffee goes from us selecting coffees, and once we get the coffees in, they come in burlap sacks, and the green unroasted coffee is actually the 2 seeds of a coffee cherry, and the green part of the coffee bean is actually like a kind of a layer, basically. The bean starts out very dense. You apply heat to it through the roaster, you turn it in the drum, and over the course of 13 to 15 minutes, that moisture evaporates. And what you see is the bean will expand as it roasts, as it heats. And then as it expands, you'll hear a crack. That's when the flavors are developed. And the chemical reactions within the bean are happening. The bean's expanding, and you're continuing to apply that heat. As I'm roasting, what I'm looking for is change in color, change in smell, and then change of any sound as it happens. So you hear that crackling. That crackling is some of those beans have started what's called the second crack, and that's where the sugars really caramelize and develop their sweetness in that second crack. Our coffee distribution scope is very regional, focused on the Fargo-Moorhead area and the Fergus Falls and western Minnesota region. As far as for our wholesale customers, the online world is, I think we've shipped to 47 states now, so it's basically nationwide. It's still kind of surprised me to see an order come from the middle of Oregon or the middle of West Virginia or somewhere. We used to kind of know everybody who drank our coffee when we first started out. Our customer log was like, oh, 10 to 15 to 20 people. We're just grateful for the people that have so many options to choose coffee from, and then they select our coffee. 20 years in, a hobby that I really enjoy and still want to do every morning.
Hi guys, my name is Evan Burkdoll. I'm the chef owner of a few different spots in Fergus Falls, Toast, Union Avenue Bar and Eatery, and Falls Baking Company. Today I'm preparing a nice kind of fall comfort or holiday dish featuring espresso from Stumbeano's, also a neighbor to my bakery. I got a pork tenderloin from Amore Pork that is also in Otter Tail County. So I'm gonna start with the rub for the pork, and then while I'm kind of doing that, I'm just gonna heat up my cast iron pan here because we're gonna sear that. I weighed out some ingredients here. I've got about 2 tablespoons of espresso powder. I've also got chili rub, smoked paprika, throwing that in. I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I just like it equal parts to the espresso. And then I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of salt, about half black pepper and half garlic powder. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that up with my fingers. That should be good. And I'm gonna grab the pork tenderloin. I'm just gonna bring it right over to my cutting board. You can see this is starting to smoke already, which is good. Here I have clarified butter. You can really use any sort of high temp cooking oil. You go ahead and lay some down. I'm gonna take our rub and go ahead and just rub this in. That stuff that kind of got all over the cutting board, just pick up your pork and just rub it all in. So it should look pretty heavily coated. So I'm just gonna move around that clarified butter. I'm gonna go in with the pork. We're gonna sear it. So it's been about 1.5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and just rotate all the way over. I like to do top and bottom first, and then kind of try and get the sides a little bit. just move around that butter. Let that go for about another minute, minute and a half. Then I'm gonna do the sides, and then we're gonna put it into the oven. Now that the pork's in the oven, we have cranberry walnut wheat bread. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a nice slice. I'm gonna go right down the middle. And I'm gonna cut 2 slices. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a pan toast today. You can do a regular toaster, you can throw it in the oven. So similar to the pork, I'm gonna take my clarified butter. Not gonna go as much. Get a nice coat on that. So as my bread is toasting, over here I've got some mashed sweet potatoes that I did. Just gonna go ahead and heat those up. This is gonna go almost be like the base of our toast. These sweet potatoes, I just put butter, salt, and pepper in them. I did a splash of maple syrup in here. Go ahead and check this toast, looking nice. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove this toast now. I'm just gonna put it on my cutting board. I'm gonna add a little bit more butter. All right, now I'm gonna take the Brussels sprouts and do the inside down, almost like you're searing a steak or a chicken, any piece of meat. I'm gonna let these go for a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check my Brussels, make sure they're getting some nice color. And they're looking really good. We like that deep caramelization. So I'm gonna go ahead and just flip it. Kind of check each one, just make sure there's some caramelization on there. While those are finishing up, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw a little salt and pepper on them. You can just throw it all over the pan because we're gonna shift it all together with our tongs before it goes in the oven. Go ahead and kill the heat. It's look nice and caramelized. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a little shake. Then I'm gonna go into the oven just until they're finished. So Brussels are going in the oven. So I pulled the pork out of the oven. I'm just letting it rest a little bit longer. As we're doing that, I'm going to assemble the toast. I've got my sweet potato mash. I'm gonna go ahead and just take that. Make sure we go corner to corner. Nice layer of sweet potato mash there. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Brussels sprouts that just came out of the oven. I'm just gonna nicely kind of place them around the plate. Put a couple off the plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice the pork now. I'm gonna go right down the middle because I want nice big slices. I'm gonna try and get 6 slices on there. So I'm gonna go a little thinner. I'm gonna take these and I'm just gonna do a nice shingle crust toast. So to top that all off, you could do cranberries, or today, because toast does have a little Scandinavian theme, we're gonna do lingonberries. I like lingonberries. I like the bite because they're a little bit smaller and they're a little bit sweeter. I'm gonna go right down the middle. I like when it falls off the plate a little bit. And again, we like to just garnish with microgreens. Today we have pea shoots from a farmer that supplies to us in Fergus Falls. So now we have a completed dish featuring a lot from Ottertail County. Amur pork, sweet potatoes from a local farmer, the bread from our bakery in Fergus Falls, and Stumbeano's espresso.
Tyson Andrews from Perham, Minnesota, is a woodworker whose taste for the whimsy came from building custom homes. The ideas for hidden features and pocketed walls started trickling into his own artistic work. Tyson hopes his off-the-wall creations inspire others to start looking at things differently.
There's more than what you see. There's always going to be something that you never knew was there that's going to be there. I've been a custom home builder for over 25 years now, and I sort of just dabbled in the creative process of jewelry boxes and things on my off time at home. I built houses for country music star Kenny Rogers and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and some of the amenities that went into their houses were just weird. As far as pocketing walls and hidden door systems in rooms, those untraditional building styles allowed me to think outside the box and fueled my artistic style and ability. I make bandsaw boxes, end grain cutting boards, sculptures. I enjoy putting secret compartments or hidden magnetic locks or levers for operation. I don't use templates or patterns when I make stuff. It's all original, so everything is unique and different, which is what carries my attention on to the next piece. If it was by repetition, I would quickly lose interest. I laminate a block of wood together with different tones, so you'll have a variety of hardwoods from maple, walnut to cherry. Once I have that block, that's my canvas right there, and from there I will draw on the block what I'm going to cut out, figure out secret compartments or how I want it to operate. There's indiscrepancies in a lot of woods, so to accentuate those things, I think, separates you from a normal artist. So like a knot turning into an eyeball or a crack turning into a figurative piece of that piece of woodwork that you're doing. Where some people might say this is trash and throw it away, it's messed up, I try to enjoy the mistakes in the woodwork and really just drawing focus to those points and making them key figures of that piece. This is the cracked knot clock. Everything that you see here besides the motor in the housing in the back was salvaged wood. This is flamed box elder. It's actually a type of maple. This is walnut, which was also felled from a piece of property and kiln dried and used as trim pieces. The body was actually hollow. It's made from a skeleton frame and then wrapped with plywood. It is unique in the form that it's very interactive. So back here, these are actually magnetic rosettes that just come off and expose a hidden pull for a secret drawer. Once the drawer is out, you have a pop-down compartment right here. Inside the pop-down compartment is a magnetic keep card that actually, if you go to the front of the clock, I'll open up the front of the clock for you. I think it's the whimsical, looks like it came out of Alice in Wonderland and maybe a reincarnation of Dolly with the functionality. Once you take in the clock and what it means to you, then you see the actual functionality of the compartments and the time and attention that went into that stuff. It really goes over the top with feelings and emotions from the individual. Everybody always asks me, do I put the crack in there? Does it come like that? Yes, I cut it out like that. I do like the cracked things. It speaks to me like as individuals, we can all be broken in a sense, but still be functional. Sometimes I start a piece and then I walk away from it for months at a time, and then I'll come back and then I'll finally be able to see it come to fruition, and then I'll continue with it. When I'm in that process, I'm in a totally different world. I wake up in the morning and I'm out there working in the wood shop all day long. I get hyper-focused on stuff. That's all I think about and work on until it's finished. It's my happy place. I've got nothing but positive feedback. People genuinely come up to me, some people in tears, and telling me what I've made and how it transpires to their life, and people pushing me to keep moving forward with what I'm doing because they see something that maybe I haven't seen yet, but it definitely inspires me to keep making and creating. Nothing's perfect in the world. There's this standard when it comes to woodworking of perfection, and I think that if individuals, can kind of take themselves out of the confines of perfection and take a minute to let what they're looking at just resonate with them, they'll see things differently.
Annabelle Maher learned to play the guitar at a young age from her dad. Her passion for music led her from Fargo to Nashville, where she enjoys performing for countless country music fans. Annabelle and her dad often get to share the stage together. Enjoy their performance.
Hi, I'm Annabelle, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Fargo, North Dakota. I learned how to play piano and guitar when I was really young, and then I wrote my first song when I was 11 years old. Prove Me Wrong is a song that I've always loved. It's kind of about feeling just like down in the dumps that you'll never find love, and then you meet someone and you just realize that that's not true and you just have hope again. So that's my song, Prove Me Wrong. Got ready in the car, 'cause I slept in too late, been hiding in the dark, 'cause wanting more keeps me awake. He really let me down and I let him. Love was just a word he threw around and I caught it, but it slipped right out our hands. Walked in the restaurant, the same place where we first met. I saw something from afar, a face I don't wanna forget. He held the door and I let him. If love's just a word, then why is it chasing me? Should I just let it be? Or should I listen and give in a try? I've had enough of just getting by and holding on to his pretty lies. Am I crazy? Is this hazy? I might need a better way to see the view, 'cause right now all I can see is you. I've already been through this and he is already gone. I thought love was ignorance, but I might be ready to let you prove me wrong. I'm not easily convinced, 'cause it always starts this way, honeymoon kind of bliss. It's bound to fade away. I'll do my best to make it last, but I don't want to fall too fast. Maybe you could undo the pain of my past. Should I listen and give in a try? I've had enough of just getting by and holding on to his pretty lies. Am I crazy? Is this hazy? I might need a better way to see the view, 'cause right now all I can see is you. I've already been through this and he is already gone. I thought love was ignorance, but I might be ready to let you prove me wrong. Ooh, you're now shining through my dark nights. Ooh, it's too good to find. Ooh, so instead I just might listen and give in a I'll try. I've had enough of just getting by and holding on to his pretty lies. Am I crazy? Is this hazy? I might need a better way to see the view, 'cause right now all I can see is you. I've already been through this and he is already gone. I thought love was ignorance, but I might be ready to let you prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
If you know of an artist, a topic, or an organization in our region that you think might make for an interesting segment, please contact us at prairiemosaic@prairiepublic.org.
You can stream this and other episodes of Prairie Mosaic online and follow Prairie Public on social media for more content and updates. I'm Andy Garski.
And I'm Barb Gravel. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Prairie Mosaic.
Prairie Mosaic is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, the North Dakota Council on the Arts, and by the members of Prairie Public.